voice. Move by the light, make a choice. Listen to my voice. I got something to say.
This is your Resolve to Read daily reading. It's April 11th, and we're reading from the books of 2 Samuel and 1 Chronicles. On the 7th day, the child died. David's servants were afraid to tell him that the child was dead, for they thought, "While the child was still living, we spoke to David, but he would not listen to us. How can we tell him the child is dead? He may do something desperate." David noticed that his servants were whispering among themselves, and he realized the child was dead. "Is the child dead?" he asked. "Yes," they replied. "He is dead." Then David got up from the ground. After he had washed, put on lotions, and changed his clothes, he went into the house of Yahuwah and worshipped. Then he went to his own house, and at his request they served him food, and he ate. His servants asked him, "Why are you acting this way? While the child was alive, you fasted and wept, but now that the child is dead, you get up and eat." He answered, "While the child was still alive, I fasted and wept. I thought, who knows? Yahuwah may be gracious to me and let the child live. But now that he is dead, why should I fast? Can I bring him back again? I will go to him, but he will not return to me." Meanwhile, Joab fought against Rabbah of the Ammonites and captured the royal citadel. Joab then sent messengers to David saying, "I have fought against Rabbah and taken its water supply. Now muster the rest of the troops and besiege the city and capture it. Otherwise, I will take the city, and it will be named after me." So David mustered the entire army and went to Rabbah, and attacked and captured it. He took the crown from the head of their king. Its weight was a talent of gold, and it was set with precious stones, and it was placed on David's head. He took a great quantity of plunder from the city and brought out the people who were there, consigning them to labor with saws and iron picks and axes, and he made them work at brick-making. He did this to all the Ammonite towns. Then David and his entire army returned to Jerusalem. David also defeated the Moabites. He made them lie down on the ground and measured them off with a length of cord. Every 2 lengths of them were put to death, and the 3rd length was allowed to live. So the Moabites became subject to David and brought tribute. Moreover, David fought Hadaezer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. When he went to restore his control along the Euphrates River, David captured 1,000 of his chariots, 7,000 charioteers, and 20,000 foot soldiers. He hamstrung all but 100 of the chariot horses. David took the gold shields that belonged to the officers of Hadaezer and brought them to Jerusalem. From Tebah and Berothai, towns that belonged to Hadaezer, King David took a great quantity of bronze. When the Arameans of Damascus came to help Hadaezer, king of Zobah, David struck down 22,000 of them. He put garrisons in the Aramean kingdom of Damascus, and the Arameans became subject to him and brought tribute. Yahuwah gave David victory wherever he went. Abishai, son of Zeruiah, struck down 18,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt. He put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became subject to David. Yahuwah gave David victory everywhere he went. When Tau, king of Hamath, heard that David had defeated the entire army of Hadaezer, he sent his son Joram to King David to greet him and congratulate him on his victory in the battle over Hadaezer, who had been at war with Tau. Joram brought with him articles of silver and gold and bronze. King David dedicated these articles to Yahuwah, as he had done with the silver and gold from all the nations he had subdued, Edom and Moab, the Ammonites and the Philistines, and Amalek. He also dedicated the plunder taken from Hadaezer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. These were the chiefs of David's mighty men. They, together with all Israel, gave his kingship strong support to extend it over the whole land, as Yahuwah had promised. This is the list of David's mighty men. Jashobim, a Hakomite, was chief of the officers. He raised his spear against 300 men, whom he killed in one encounter. Next to him was Eleazar, son of Dodai, the Ahohite. As one of the 3 mighty men, he was with David when they taunted the Philistines gathered at Pasdammim for battle. Then the men of Israel retreated, but he stood his ground and struck down the Philistines till his hand grew tired and froze to the sword. Yahuwah brought about a great victory that day. The troops returned to Eleazar, but only to strip the dead. Next to him was Shammah, son of Agi the Harite. When the Philistines banded together at a place where there was a field full of lentils, Israel's troops fled from them. But Shammah took his stand in the middle of the field. He defended it and struck the Philistines down, and Yahuwah brought about a great victory. During harvest time, 3 of the 30 chief men came down to David at the cave of Adullam, while a band of Philistines was encamped in the valley of Rephaim. At that time, David was in the stronghold, and the Philistine garrison was at Bethlehem. David longed for water and said, "Oh, that someone would get me a drink of water from a well near the gate of Bethlehem." So the 3 mighty men broke through the Philistine lines, drew water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem, and carried it back to David. But he refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out before Yahuwah. "Far be it from me, O Yahuwah, to do this," he said. "Is it not the blood of men who went at the risk of their lives?" And David would not drink it. Such were the exploits of the 3 mighty men. Abishai, the brother of Joab, was chief of the 3. He raised his spear against 300 men whom he killed, and so he became as famous as the 3. He was doubly honored above the 3, and became their commander, even though he was not included among them. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was a valiant fighter from Kabzeel, who performed great exploits. He struck down 2 of Moab's best men. He also went down into a pit on a snowy day and killed a lion. And he struck down an Egyptian who was 7.5 feet tall. Although the Egyptian had a spear, like a weaver's rod, in his hand, Benaiah went against him with a club. He snatched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. Such were the exploits of Benaiah, son of Jehoiada. He, too, was as famous as the 3 mighty men. He was held in greater honor than any of the 30, but he was not included among the 3. And David put him in charge of his bodyguard. The mighty men were Asahel, the brother of Joab, Elhanan, son of Dodo from Bethlehem, Shamath, the Harorite, Helez, the Pelonite, Ira, son of Ikesh from Tekoa, Abiezer from Anathoth, Sibkai, the Hushathite, Eli, the Ahohite, Macharai, the Netophathite, Heled, son of Baanah, the Netophathite, Ittai, son of Ribai, from Gibeah in Benjamin, Bedaniah, the Pyrothonite, Hurai, from the ravines of Gaash, Abiel, the Arbathite, Azmaveth, the Bachurumite, Elihaba, the Shaalbonite, the sons of Hashem, the Gizonite, Jonathan, son of Shagi, the Harorite, Ahiam, son of Sakar, the Harorite, Eliphal, son of Hefer, the Mecherathite, Ahijah, the Pelonite, Hezro, the Carmelite, Naarai, son of Azbai, Joel, the brother of Nathan, Mibhar, son of Hagri, Zalek, the Ammonite, Naharai, the Berothite, the armor-bearer of Joab, son of Zariah, Ira, the Ithrite, Gareb, the Ithrite, Uriah, the Hittite, Zabab, son of Ahlai, Adina, son of Shiza, the Reubenite, who was chief of the Reubenites, and the 30 with him, Hanan, son of Makkah, Joshaphat, the Mithnite, Uzziah, the Ashtarothite, Shammah and Jael, the sons of Hotham, the Arorite, Jediael, son of Shimrai, his brother Joah, the Tizite, Eliel, the Mahavite, Jerubai, and Joshaviah, the sons of Elnaam, Ithma, the Moabite, Eliel, Obed, and Jasiel, the Mesobite. This is the word of Yahuwah. Thanks be to God.